Hi, I'm Jacquie and I'm a business coach that also owns a Tipi Hire business. Today, I want to welcome you onto my webinar, which is going to help you to learn how you can make your business super successful by following my 11-step formula. I'm going to explain to you exactly what you need to do and how I did it myself in my business, Elite Tents, to really make it work and to make that business grow. Let's get started. So today I'm going to tell you about the 11 simple steps to getting more sales for your business. So let's get straight in with step one. Step one is Google Business Profile. The Google Business Profile is that little section on Google when somebody searches for you that appears on the right-hand side of the page. If you go away now and you Google your name and your area, if you have a Google Business Profile, it will appear on the right. If it doesn't, you might be able to scroll down and see on the maps whether you're actually listed there in the Google Business Maps. The reason you're not showing up, if you're not showing up, is either because you don't have a Google Business Profile or because you haven't optimized it. So the first thing you need to make absolutely sure you do is you need to optimize that Google Business Profile. Check that the information that's on the Google Business Profile is correct, because you'd be surprised how many times Google thinks it knows what you're doing and thinks it knows what your phone number is, and it's actually incorrect. Or particularly office hours, they often change your office hours randomly. So go first of all, check the information is correct. The next thing is, if you send me a message after you've watched this webinar, I can send you out a copy of my Google Business Checklist. And the checklist actually enables you to go through and check all the different facets of the business profile to make sure they're optimized really, really well. Step number 2 is a systemized review collection. Now you might think, well, why are you talking about reviews? Surely that's the end. Well, it is at the end, but obviously, when people are looking for you, when people are deciding whether to give you that call, when they find you on the Google Business Profile, they may well look at your number of reviews. Getting some of your existing customers to do your review, that's really clear. Now, reviews don't have to only be on Google, although that's a really great place to start. But depending on your business, if you're a builder or you're a service, you might need to go onto Trustpilot. If you're a hotel or a restaurant, then TripAdvisor is an excellent one. And it's really key to make sure that you're in the place where your customers will be searching for you, because then when you pop up, you'll have the right number of positive reviews to make them actually pick their phone up or send you an inquiry. Step 3. Now, this is actually a really big one, but I'm going to say it anyway, because you need to get your website right. You've got only 7 seconds to get your customers' interest when they arrive on your website. And I'm going to give you the 4 questions that you need to answer so that you know exactly what to do. So the first one is, who is this for? Now, that might sound obvious, but you'd be surprised when you land on some websites. You wonder if you're in the right place, because it's actually not obvious. Because what a lot of business owners do, unfortunately, is they create a very pretty website that is all nice pictures, but actually doesn't tell you. It doesn't do what it says on the tin. It doesn't tell you what they do. If you're a photographer and you're offering wedding photography, then you need to make sure it's really clear for brides that live in Sutton Coldfield, for example. But if you're not a wedding photographer, you need to be clear about what you do. Because if a bride ends up on your page, she's not your customer. You need to make sure your website, when they arrive, it's for the people that you are targeting. The third one is, why should I care? And that might sound like a bit flippant, but it's not, because actually people do care and they are comparing you to other people. So if what you're trying to show people is that you're most trusted, or you've been around the longest, or you work with local people, get that in there. Step 4, this is all about, once you've got that website right, is getting people to it. Now, lots of people go, when I mention Google ads or Facebook ads, which is now Meta ads, because they're concerned that they're going to spend a load of money and get nothing. Well, the truth is that you need to make sure that you're targeting properly. You need to recognize that actually, if your customers are searching for you on Google, you need to be bidding so that you can get some of their attention. If your customers are on Instagram, then you need to make sure you've got ads so you see them. Because the trouble with Facebook and with Instagram is that only about 5% of your followers see your posts. If you had a cash machine and you were to put £1 in the top and £5 was coming out the bottom, you would do it. And that's the way you need to think about Google ads and Facebook ads. Because yes, if you have to put money in at the top, but provided you're tracking and you're measuring and you know that what's coming out the bottom is a good return on investment, there's no reason why you couldn't use Facebook ads and Google ads to get your customers to your website. Step number 5 is all about remarketing and pixel tracking. Now, it sounds quite technical. You may or may not have done it already in your business, but you will have experienced it. So if you're somebody who visits websites and perhaps isn't so decisive, a bit like me when I'm looking for my nice boots or shoes, what you find is when you then go onto another website, your boots or shoes that you left in the basket and didn't quite decide to process are following you around. And you're on the BBC News or looking up some other random facts, and there are your shoes or your boots or whatever it is you've been searching, whether it's, whether you've been on Screwfix, whether you've been on holidays, they're appearing around your page. That is called remarketing. And what that is because the little cookie has been put onto you when you visited somebody's website, when you visit somebody's page, and they've gone, oh, potential customer here, and you need to get in on the game. And we're halfway at step 6, and this one is the one that lots of people do. This is our interaction on socials, and everybody says, oh yeah, I do my social media. I don't really like it sometimes, or you might be somebody who loves it, I don't know, but everybody does have a bash at this, don't they? Unfortunately, there's a lot of dross out there. So all you've got to do is make sure that people stop when they get to you. You need to, if you're using Facebook or Instagram or TikTok or LinkedIn, whichever one it is, if that's where your audience is hanging out, you need to give them something which spikes their interest, catches their eye, and makes them stop. 7. This one's quite a big one. Most businesses have some level of marketing collateral other than their Facebook and their website. They might have a flyer, they might have a business card, they might have a brochure, they might have something they hand out at events or networking. And if you've got that, what you need to do first of all is have a look at it with cold, strong, clear, honest eyes. Because actually, a lot of what people give you, well, we know what we do with it, don't we? We walk to our recycle bin and we pop it in there because it's not engaging. It's a bit like the social media posts, really. If you know who you're talking to and you've got a really great message, you need to make sure that that message talks to your market properly in all your collateral. You need it to be personable. You need it to be friendly and helpful and valuable. Step number 8 is quite a big one as well. And this won't be a week's job or this 11 steps. It will take you some time. But step 8 is a pricing review. In any given market, you'll find that there are lots of businesses who are all priced quite similarly. What that means is that those businesses have all determined their prices by checking each other out, by looking at the competition, by looking at the market. Now, I would like to challenge you almost to look at your pricing in a different way. Think about what you're actually offering. Think about how you can actually stand out and be the red apple amongst all the green. So that instead of being yet another one for them to get a quote off, when they get your quote for whatever it is that you do, when they come to look at whether to use your service or buy your product, it stands out so far that actually they're not interested in all the other apples. They just want your apple, the red apple. And for that, you need to think about your pricing, but what you're offering, because it's not just about the cost. You see, when you compete on cost, the only way you can win is by being the cheapest. And it's a really quick spiral down to the bottom. Step 9 is referral cards. Now, referral cards, neighbourhood cards, referral schemes, there's all different ones for different industries, but they all have the same job. Basically, by introducing the concept of people referring your services, it's a really excellent way of getting new leads. And the reason is people trust their friends and their family. So just like reviews are really, really important, Referrals are some of the best leads you can get because already you've got somebody's advocation of your services. So it absolutely is a really good way of uplifting your profit and utilising the positive experiences you're giving people to actually bring money back into the business. Step number 10 is all about follow-up. And I do bang on about this quite a lot, follow-up, because it is massively important. And too many people don't do it at all. So a few years ago, I ordered some windows for our house. I rang 3 companies. I hadn't got any friends or family who'd had any windows recently. So I did my Google My Business. I found the people with the most reviews. Great, number 1 ticked off. I rang all 3 companies. 1 didn't answer the phone at all. 1 answered the phone and said they'd get somebody to call me back. And then, in fact, there was 4, and 2 actually I spoke to and they came out. Of the 2 that came out, 1 sent me the quotes. The other one sent me the quote and called me to tell me that they sent me the quote. Only a little tiny difference there, but it was very helpful. And the second one also then rang me a few days later, asked if I got any questions, asked if I'd had any thoughts about the changes, then sent me another message just suggesting, had you thought of maybe blah, blah, blah? I can't even remember what it was now, but they were showing me that I was in their head, that they cared about my job, that they cared about, I suppose, winning my business. But for me, it felt like they cared about what I wanted. And follow-up process is really key if you want to evoke those same emotions in your potential customers. So let's use this, for example. So if you're going to buy a bunch of flowers, lots of people buy flowers, but any one point in time, there's probably only 3% of people buying flowers right now because they need it. Maybe there's a birthday or a special occasion or an anniversary. So there's 3% of the market who are buying flowers right now. There's probably 17% who are having a little mooch because they know their mum's birthday's coming up in the next month or so, or next couple of weeks. So they are information gathering. They're having a look maybe online or maybe through the local magazine or whatever it is to see if there's any florists available. There's another whole load that know at some point they need to order some flowers. And there's a great big bottom lot, 60%, that at the moment, they don't need any flowers at the moment. And they're not even problem aware. They've not got flowers in their head. But the other 40% of the people that are in the market for buying flowers at some point all need our attention. You see, too many businesses just focus on this top 3%. They only try to support the people who ring up now, who need flowers now, that want an answer now. But if somebody inquires but doesn't go through with the purchase, it doesn't mean they never will. It might mean that they're still not ready for them, or they were just checking it out. And for us as business owners, it's really, really important that what we do is we keep ourselves in their minds, because it's not their job to remember us. It's our job to make sure they remember us. And that can be in one of many, many ways. It might be a WhatsApp, it might be a text, it might be an email, it might be a little card in the post. It doesn't matter. Whatever your business, your industry is, you will know the best way to talk to your customers and your potential customers. The last of our steps might seem a funny one. It's the most obvious one of all, and that is to answer your phone. Because if you don't answer your phone and somebody is ringing to make an inquiry, then somebody else will. And if you're taking all that time to get your Google My Business right, or you're getting your remarketing so that people do eventually give you a call, and then you don't answer the phone, guess what they'll do? Do you think they'll think, oh, I'll wait half an hour, I'll try them again? Absolutely not. If you don't answer the phone when they're ready, then you've missed your chance, and they'll move down to the next person and somebody else will get their business. So answering the phone is really, really important. So what about you? Are you the hamster on the wheel that is just going to run that little bit faster and work that a little bit harder in the hope that might bring you a few more customers? Are you Alice in Wonderland, who just doesn't really know where she's going and has no goal or target and therefore doesn't know what marketing she needs to do? Because if that's the case, and you've got to think to yourself, can I afford to just spend my life running so fast and so hard that a year from now, the only way I can be any better is by running even faster and working even harder? And if the answer is no, you don't want to be that person, then book a chat with me. Let's have a call and see how I can help you really make your business a success and get you way more customers.